Hi, I'm AJ Owens, and I'm going to tell you some paranormal stories. These stories might be real, or they might not be. I will tell you at the end of the video if they are or not. Alright, the first one is about a girl who's coming home from work, where in the field there's this combine, and the combine is running without lights. He's cutting the corn in the field. He does not have lights on. It's dark, and he pulls out in the middle of the road. As he does this, the shadow of a man, a black tall shadow, very tall shadow, jumps right out in front of the truck. She slams on her brakes, thinking that she's going to hit a man, only there's no man, it's nothing but a black shadow, and I mean this black. No eyes, no nothing. As she does that, that's when the combine's lights come on. Still, it doesn't pass through the shadow, and that is a true story. I know because it was my story. One night coming home from my husband's job, yeah, it happened to me. The second story is called Coco Forevermore. It's about a little boy who used to go to a babysitter's house, where at the babysitter's there was this tiny room that was extremely cold. And every time he would go to the babysitter's, he'd beg and beg his mother not to take him to their house because he just didn't like her, said that she was creepy and that she was weird and mean to him. Well, the last day that she took him to the sitter's house, she shouldn't have done it because he ended up dying. And she put him into the cold room and he froze to death. According to legend, this is actually a true story, but it's not a personal one, so I don't know. I'll leave it up to you to decide. And the third and final one, it's about a friend's house where I will go ahead and tell you it's a true story. I once went into their house, walked down the hallway, and I kid you not, as I'm going to the bathroom, the dogs are starting to whine. They follow me to the bathroom, and I turn around to see the shadow of what looks like, you know, when you go to a store and it has the female sign where it's the circle head and the triangle body and all that. That is what I saw in their hallway, right there, just skipping down the hall at me. It was creepy as all get out. And according to them, this is not the first time that a little girl has been seen at their house. When my daughter would stay the night, a lot of times they would call and say, hey, your daughter's bringing friends over here or something. But I honestly don't think it was mine because we never seen the supposed girl who looked like what they described. But, yeah, it got pretty bad that night to the point where my friend took me into this room, and the room had dogs in it their dog in it. They put one of the big dogs up because she wanted to jump and everything, and she just kept bugging everybody. And in the corner there was that little girl, and it was growling at us, and he started reading the Bible and everything, and his wife actually got sick and started she just didn't look right, and it was kind of freaky. It was an experience, I'll tell you that much. But if you like this, I'll tell you some more. This not rarely, I'm sorry, nervous. This happens to me a lot. They say I'm a medium. I don't call myself that. It's just something that I've been told I am because I see things and I can tell you things that I shouldn't know, but for some reason I do. For a while on Facebook, I used to actually... Sorry, I had a thing there. I used to actually do readings for free. Occasionally I still do. I don't like to because there's been a couple times that I've done readings for people, and what I picked up on them were really horrible things that actually happened. Um, one was so bad that the woman, when I told her, I didn't want to tell her because I was like, there's just no way. There's no way I'm right. I hate being right sometimes because people are troubled. But I told her, I was like, hey, I get a little boy. There's pain in his head. Like I'm being hit over the head. I came in from the snow and I got hit in the head and then I got drowned in the bathtub. And she goes, yeah, I did that to my son. And I'm like, what? I couldn't believe I was right, I mean, this is a woman who literally took a baby from this world, who didn't do anything to deserve it, never did. She killed him because her husband or fiance or somebody did not want to stay with her. And then she wanted to know if he forgave her. And I'm like, I can't tell them that. There's no way I can tell them that this child forgives her so that she could go and have another baby because she was pregnant, for one, and that she was going to do the same exact thing. And I told the person who actually had started the page this, and I was like, no, I'm done. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm like, you're done. I mean, you can do it, fine, go ahead and do it. But I'm not going to sit there and tell that lady that, it's okay. Because it's not okay. And then 2 months later, she appeared on the TV. And she did it again. The man decided to leave her, and she had just had the baby, and she was sitting there feeding the baby, and yeah, she killed it. Beautiful little baby girl. And the worst part is, even though this is not even 2, this is 3 she's done. I did not know until later on that was her 3rd child that she did this to. And that she went in for a mental evaluation and they declared her unfit. And then they released her back into society and she was a teacher. So, yeah. People were crooked. But, how did I start reading? It was just one thing where went onto this page. It's called E.S. P. All capital letters, but you gotta put the periods in there. Mitzi Spicer is the Gilman. I think that's her last name. Mitzi Spicer Gilman. Something G. It's been a while. She runs the page, and when there was a couple of people who had posted some pictures, and you're supposed to make comments on it to try and see if you can get a reading off the pictures, and that's what it is. It's called code readings. Like, if you give me a picture and I can tell you what I get, I will not ask you, like, sex, location, age, and all that. I didn't like doing that. Others, they're like, they ask you sex, location, and all that. I'm like, no. I didn't want any information. Just give me a general picture, and that's it. Sometimes I don't even need that. Sometimes there's been a couple times where somebody was like, hey, can you, and then I'm like, this is what I get. There you go. I've come up with names. I come up with places that I shouldn't know. And I'll just tell you, hey, this is what I get. I don't know if it means anything to you. It might be right, it might be not. It might be something later that you'll be like, oh, now I understand because that's happened. Like, I mean, you know, but, yeah, I'm weird and I like my weirdness. It's just the way life is. Um, if y'all like this video, I know I'm strange, but, I hope y'all like it. I mean, I'd like to continue to do stuff like this and tell y'all more stuff that's happened in my life. I mean, I've had some crazy things happen that you just wouldn't believe, and what I just told y'all, that's nothing compared to some of the things I've been through in life. So, if you want to see more, let me know. Have a nice day. Bye.